Welcome to the Anfield Dream podcast. And my goodness, guys, it's so good to see the lads out there again. So good to see the lads out there, especially this crazy world we live in and all the crazy things going on. You're trying to bring some semblance of, normality, if there's such a thing. Watch international ball, this and that. It's all right. You know what? We would like to watch. We just like to watch our lads, do their thing. And very, very glad that, first official game, kicking off the new season. My perspective on what I saw, I really liked what I saw. Top, observations right off the top. I really liked, what I saw with Arne. First thing I noticed was his ability, his adaptability based on what he had. Clearly, this is not the lineup or the way, he likes to set up his teams, but, it's because based on what I've seen, him with his previous clubs, he definitely likes to play, with a recognized 9, but he didn't have a recognized 9. So he played with a double 10 the first half, especially, that was a beautiful, set up with a 10, Sober playing the 10 in that instance and getting the goal. And that was beautiful. The second thing I noticed was the detail. He is definitely a man's coach, a player's coach. Constantly coaching, constantly, and I liked the interviews. I liked, what his response to all the questions thrown at him and what he would like to do. And I was impressed with that. And just his philosophy, it's a little bit of a hybrid between what Pep does and then what Klopp did. It was possession based. In the defense, overwhelm the midfield, just literally attack the ball. It's not even pressing; it's flat out attacking the ball and getting it back. They didn't. Betis had no time to breathe. It was I like that. And then in the offense, it was just what we're more used to, with the still very attacking, but the whole control build up and then hit them hard. Obviously, the lads are getting used to, the new philosophy, the new style, the tweaks, the changes. And, there are a couple of moments there. Based on my very first impression in Liverpool Red, it's, his style is extremely dynamic and obviously a lot of athleticism and tactical and technical ability is required, especially the 8, the 10, the 6. There were a couple moments there, people getting up to speed. Endo had his moment. As far as the center backs go, Sepp had his moment. But overall, I was impressed with Sepp and Kwanzaa, man. I was impressed. Simi, all that energy he brought, bombing up the left flank. And then Connor was impressive as always. As far as the keepers, both Kelleher and Yaris, like I said, they did their thing. And the save that Yaris made, he was very Alisson-esque. And this is why I was so excited, when they brought, basically the entire club in the same complex. You see the unders, you see the kids, they get to interact and play and watch the first team, and the philosophy is consistent and it's evident. It's evident. I saw a interview from one of the Dutch networks, and they were commenting about, how excited they were about what Arne could bring to Liverpool based on the talent that he was available to him, there. And look what he did with Feyenoord. Can you imagine? And now they see, what they do, even with just the youngsters and the talent pool. And when it came back to Arne, he was just like, I like what I saw, but we can definitely improve here, and here. And it was very definitive. For his style, we need more dynamism in the engine room, clearly. So I'm hoping they get that resolved. I really liked what I saw with Tyler Morton. I really liked what I saw with Bajcetic. There are a couple moments when Bajcetic came on. You could see what he was doing, but holding it down in the engine room, I mean, silky smooth. Trey Nyona. Oh my goodness, that kid is something else. He was the standout player, clearly. You know, down the belly of the beast, as we call it, the engine room. I mean, Nyona was pretty impressive. Owen Beck came on. I mean, I like what I saw. Like I said, there's so many things, and the kid Stevenson. I was like, hey, he looks a lot like Moreno, man. It's Moreno, but Moreno playing on the right, and it's like, what's going on? But I was impressed. These kids, they were going for it. You could see they were eager and hungry and playing for a spot. Blair did his thing on top. Cake should have probably tucked that one away. It was a little bit tight angle at the end, but he should have tucked it away. But he was doing his thing. But I was good. It was so good to see Doak back, man. Doak was just hungry and firing and just terrorizing that even. He was just going at him direct. I'd really like to saw it with Ben. I know I was hoping Jaden and a couple others, but obviously injuries kept them back. They couldn't make the trip. Yeah, it was good to see Andy. Obviously, he's not going to be participating. He's still recovering from his knock in the Euros, and hopefully he'll be. Hopefully, the final game back when they get back to Liverpool, he'll be able to participate in that. It was good to see Jota there. It's funny seeing Adri, being their starting keeper on the other side. And I was just looking forward to that because I knew that's where he just wanted to go back home, finish up his career back in Spain. So I get that. Let's see who else. Overall, it's Chambers. Some of these kids they've grown and they filled up. I mean, Stefan has definitely grown and filled up, and so has Chambers. I was just like, that looks like Chambers. That's it. That is Chambers. Luke, you go, boy. He did his thing, and none of these kids looked out of place, guys. They had that one moment, just expected. I throw a bunch of kids in there. That's expected, but they kept their clean sheets. So I'm impressed. I was hoping for a whole lot more goals, and they definitely had the opportunity. But I really liked what I saw overall. My overall impression, it's just work in progress. But I really liked what I saw. It's you can clearly see what's going to happen when the big boys start trickling back, and it's the last two games. I mean, by the time the entire team should be back for the final friendly preparation game, whatever you want to call it, for the season. But they're starting to trickle back in. It'll be interesting really looking forward to seeing what they do, how they perform against the Gooners here in I think they play them on Wednesday. And then, God willing, we will be at the Man U game. Met with my docs, my primary care physician this last Thursday, a couple of days ago. And they're very pleased with my progress. I'm still about 12 to 18 months out. The kids had their annual with their pediatrician, their eye exam, annualized, or whatever it is, in Miami. That's about 2 hours from us. Miami obviously is East Coast, St. Naples, where it's West Coast, South Florida. And I actually managed. That was the longest I'd ever been out on a road trip, since surgery, and managed it. It took but it knocked me. It took about two. It was a full day event, and it took about 2 days to recover. So driving up to Colombia for the Man U game, it's going to probably be 15 to 16 hours because we got to stop for the babies so they can go potty and that kind of thing, and just see how my surgical site recovery. I can't even speak. I'm so tired. see how that happens, how it does. But I'm determined and hoping some family can come down too. Obviously, the team is signed. Seats sold out pretty much instantly. We managed to get a couple. I think there's still a few general seats left, and Yeah, it was funny, watching some of the I think John Barnes was out there. Sammy Hupia was out there. A few others I recognize, from the game against Betis. Doing some of the pregame and commentating and things. It's just they were just kind of blown away. It's just like, this is Pittsburgh. It's the heart of the U.S. It's blue collar country, and to get over 40,000 fans in a Steelers stadium, and the fact that the Steelers allowed us to use their facility. I mean, I think we're only the fourth outsider that's ever been in the Steelers in the history they've allowed to use their facility. So it's very nice of them, to do that. And of course, FSG owns the Pittsburgh Penguins, their NHL team, ice hockey team, and so maintain good relations there. And it was funny also. I think John Barnes was one of the Pittsburgh legends, and he looks tiny compared to these NFL players, and he commented, he's like, "You see the lads? They're huge." It's a lot of people watch the NFL on TV, especially from Europe, and everybody's big, so they don't realize how big these are. I mean, John Barnes is not a small guy, man, and he looked tiny compared to one of these guys from Pittsburgh that they brought over. And I can't remember the guy's name. I recognize him. He's a funny guy, just really laid back, chilled, funny guy. Back in the day, I was a Bengals fan, so my college days and stuff. So sworn enemies. Pittsburgh. Yeah, there's no love lost there. But still, it was interesting to see the interaction. So anyway, all in all, guys, I was pleased to see, what was going on with the team, the progress. There are definitely areas that they can definitely improve. With Nat coming on, being a captain for the second half, Mo the captain for the first half. Like I said, the goal, the fluidity on the right. There was a lot of activity on the right. I liked what I saw on the right hand side. That goal was, that combination between Sobo and Mo, was a beautiful goal. On the left, I was hoping to see, more attacking there for whatever they, a lot of it came from the right side. But I liked what I saw with Carvalho. All the runs he was making, bombing up the left, and him and Simi doing the overlap. It literally drew defenders towards that side, which opened up the right. So I would like to have seen more attacking from that side, but creating that space, drawing defenders, is what allowed the attacking from the right. So it's a very, very dynamic, fluid style of football. Like I said, like a hybrid between what Pep's philosophy and Jurgen's philosophy. So very attacking, in the offensive end from Jurgen's philosophy, but more of the build-up, control, and dominating the middle, Pep's philosophy. So it's a little bit of ticky-tacky and heavy metal all in one. But the fact that once he gets an established 9 in there, once he gets an established 6 in there, and plays the way he likes to play, it's going to be interesting. And you could see the double pivot at times. You could see the inversions at times. You could see really, really high line, and a second block dominate, just overload. The beginning, the kids were trying to figure out stuff, so it seemed very narrow. But as they, he was you could see very actively coaching, and all the signals and sign, what he wanted them to do, and the water breaks, and every time he'd get at a water break and go out, you could see they were immediately implementing what he was asking them to do, and they grew into it, the game. And frankly, they dominated the game. They dominated the game. And the kids, there's no let up. There's just at the end, obviously the exuberance of being young. And these lads are playing for a spot. Make no mistake, they're playing for a spot. They want the call up. They want to be there. They want to show honor that. Yeah, we know the big boys are coming. But yeah, we're here. We're here. We're doing our thing. Don't forget about us. We're doing our thing. And he was definitely impressed. Some of these kids are going to be pushing. The future is bright, guys. The academy, what Liverpool is doing, it is very, 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 very impressive, and it's exactly what I'd like to see. And it's just it takes time, but I mean, look at what's going on now. So I was very happy overall. Uh, there are some areas that clearly can be improved. It's also getting a lot of the guys getting used to the new philosophy. But based on the little I was able to watch, you know, in the build up so far, it's obviously I'm still recovering. I mean, my PCP, this earlier this week, and they just want me. They know I'm pushing hard, but they say, remember, it's a 12 to 18 month recovery time, a lot of rehab, a lot of PT every single day, and just hoping, praying. We got the tickets, obviously, like I said, to the Man U game in Colombia, but that is a haul. That's not 2 hours, so like 15 to 16 hours one way to get to the game. And just hoping I hold up and I able to make it. Hope some family will be able to come down and we get some general seats, and we'll see. That'll be great, but we'll see. But anyway, guys, you'll never walk alone. So far, so good. I like what I saw, and let's see how he made it very, very clear. He wants to bring in certain specific areas, specific roles. He wants to bring more talent in. Obviously, I was watching some of the interactions from Dutch television, and one of the commentators that interviewed him basically was talking about his style of play, was commenting that look what he did with the talent he had, and how he challenged at the top in Eredivisie, right? And now look at the talent that he has. He's at one of the largest clubs on the planet. And that's another thing that, Hupia was there. I saw Hupia was there. Of course, we talked about John Barnes, and it's been dwarfed by this NFL player. But even John, they were commenting there. They was like, it's just, they were just blown away. Over 40,000 fans. I mean, predominantly Liverpool fans in the heart of the country, in the U.S. I mean, putting in the Steelers, stadium, getting about 40,000 fans in there. That's a large stadium. And that's impressive. They were just like, wow. I mean, it just shows you, the pull and the fan base. And when they go to Philly, it's going to be even more packed. And when they get to the Manchester game, and that's by far the largest stadium of the three. And that's the reason why they put the Man U Liverpool, game in the largest stadium available of the three. The Columbia Stadium in South Carolina. Yeah, this is that's where the Gamecock played. That's the University of South Carolina. So it's a college football stadium, and it seats quite a bit more, a few more than the next game is going to be where the Eagles play, Lincoln Financial in Philadelphia. I mean, these are all large stadiums, but it's going to be it's going to be interesting. I know folks that are going to be at the Arsenal game. Obviously, I would have loved to have been in all these games, but it's just not possible. But anyway, all right, guys, we'll talk soon. Obviously, haven't slept much at all. When you're recovering from major surgery, nights are always the worst because your body's trying to heal up, and that's when you really feel, all the surgery sites, the rebuilding post the recovery pain, all the physical therapy and rehab from, hours before. So when I'm able to get a full night's rest, it's like, woohoo, it's a good thing. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, guys, so we'll talk soon. I'm rambling on here. Enough for me. Go Reds. Go Liverpool. You'll never walk alone. We'll talk soon. Really looking forward to the season. So glad the boys are back. Talk soon.